It's Force 13's Australian Oceania Channel, providing further coverage of a developing local severe weather scene and including the developing tropical systems. It's coming up to 5 a.m. here in Queensland, Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. Daylight Saving Time. On the screen, the Bureau Meteorology's Brisbane Radar. Now it looks like we've got a severe thunderstorm warning for the Wide Bay Burnett area. The warnings in the yellow circle. Also the Brisbane Radar via radar scope. Information, tropical cyclone 3-day outlook. Actually, I think this is part of the original warning issued by the Bureau Meteorology for the tropical low that is likely to be a tropical cyclone sometime on the weekend, and where there is a cyclone watch now in place for the Darwin region. Clearly see on the Brisbane Radar where the rain activity is taking place, the yellow and the red. And here at my HQ, it hasn't been that active. I've only had about 2 millimetres of rain, so it's supposed to fine up, I think, over the weekend. Bow Desert has had over 70 millimetres of rain. Beerbohm to the north of Redcliffe, or just slightly north of Caboolture. A very healthy 43. With 27 millimetres at Gympie. Initial minor flood warning for the Mary River, the Tinana and 6 Mile Creeks. Minor flood warning for the Noosa River, the Maroochy and Mooloolah Rivers and the Coochin Creek. Moderate flood warning also for the Stanley River. And the Bureau has issued new flood warnings. There's one here for the Charleys Creek and flood warning for the Dogwood Creek catchments. Moderate flood warning now in place for the lower Burnett River. Minor flood warning for the Stuart and Boyne rivers. Major flood warning for the Eyre Creek and the Georgina River. Severe thunderstorm warning for the Wide Bay Burnett and forecast districts. The Bureau has issued a top priority warning for intense rainfall from 1770 to the east of Gayndah and Bundaberg. Very dangerous thunderstorms with intense rainfall extending from 1770 to Biggin. Strong up and low combined with a deepening surface trough and a embedded low. Developing embedded low. I had an idea that we would probably see a low to produce intense and slow moving thunderstorms. Severe thunderstorms likely to produce intense rainfall may lead to dangerous and life-threatening flash flooding in the warning area over the next several hours. Locations which may be affected include Charleys, Biggin and Gingin. Severe thunderstorms no longer occur in the Darling Downs and Granite Belt districts. Rapleys south of 1770 recorded 116 millimetres in an hour. That is phenomenal. 116 millimetres in an hour at 3:45. The Fred Hay Highway recorded 122 millimetres in an hour. Old Range Road near Biggin recorded 90 millimetres in 30 minutes and 161 millimetres in an hour to 2:45. Paradise Dam recorded 75 millimetres in 30 minutes and 124 millimetres in an hour to 12:30 a.m. This is phenomenal. So severe thunderstorm warning for intense rainfall, very dangerous thunderstorms, and that's generated a couple of new flood warnings. And the radar scope software just crashed and reloading it. Tropical cyclone advice number 2. That information will be updated shortly as I've just come on air. Bureau of Meteorology is issuing another flood warning, this time for the Kolan River, that is Kilo Oscar Lima Alpha November. The moderate flood warning for the lower Burnett River, minor flood warning for the Stuart and Boyne rivers. Moderate flooding likely at Walla late Friday morning. Minor flooding possible at Gayndah and Dunnolly. Rainfall totals 60 to 300 millimetres have been recorded over the lower Burnett catchment since 19 Thursday, with an extreme rainfall rate of up to 158 millimetres in an hour. That is phenomenal. 158 millimetres in an hour. The Bureau of Meteorology has the Bureau and Emergency Services Queensland have requested the Bureau of Meteorology to post this information for the media. Bureau and Emergency Services have actually attached the emergency signal, but they have clearly indicated the transmitting of this warning at regular intervals. Moderate flooding likely. Rainfall rate up to 158 millimetres in an hour at Old Range Road after midnight, and 50 millimetres an hour recorded in the Perry River, Reed and Sunday Creek catchment. This is not good. And I also believe that a couple of days ago, a husband and wife, a couple were camping, I think on the side of the road or in a west area, and they woke up early morning, and I think they were being severely impacted by flood water. So we have a developing but major scene here in Queensland, and this isn't even factoring in the increasing cyclone threat for the Northern Territory region and Darwin. And considering what's unfolding here in Queensland, it's going to be a clash of systems. Haven't seen it for a couple of years. I can go back to January 2011 when we lost 23 lives here to the west of Brisbane, between Brisbane and Toowoomba, and led to a major flood here in Brisbane. So flood warnings continue to be updated and issued. It's 7 minutes past 5 here in Queensland, and quite a bit of information to look at. Additional areas of heavy rainfall are being forecast or are forecast during Friday into Saturday, which may also lead to significant river level rises across the Burnett River catchment. Now I'll have a look at the severe weather warning. The warning area is about the same. Locations that are under the warning: Toowoomba, Brisbane, Maroochy, Gympie, Bundaberg, Kingaroy, Caboolture, Ipswich, Cherbourg, Oakey, Jimboomba, Mount Tamborine. So the warning area is now 1770 to the north of Bundaberg. Bundaberg, the entire Fraser Island region. Harvey Bay is now in the warning area. Maryborough, Gayndah, Cherbourg, Kingaroy. What I'll do is I'll bring the warning graphic up onto the screen. And New South Wales, Northern Rivers, it's most likely under a severe weather warning too. I'll have a look at the updated information. Now the warning is now I've got to work out why it doesn't want to come up on the screen. Alright, what we'll do, we'll have a look at the Himalaya 8 satellite imagery. This is for 13AU, developing news. The overall scene here in Queensland, especially the Wide Bay Burnett, is deteriorating. The emergency message now in place. And I'll try and bring it as much information as possible. The information in the scrolling text box is just about to change. This is the breaking and developing news. Extreme rainfall with very dangerous flash flooding is now occurring between Biggin, Childers, Old Range Road has recorded 388 millimetres in the past 3 hours. That is phenomenal. To 4 a.m. That is not good. We've already had 2 fatalities due to severe flooding. A motorcyclist sadly lost his life in the Gympie region. A 60-year-old female sadly lost her life due to being swept away in flood water. She was in her car, and that follows on from earlier this year where a teenage girl sadly lost her life due to flood water. There's also been quite a few swiftwater rescues.